Stab, stab, stab. What's up? Hey, I'm Jared Logan, and welcome to a very special presentation of Blood and Blades as part of the Extra Life Marathon. We are coming straight at you from the Stream of Blood, my channel, but we have once again joined forces, performed a mind meld with the Glass Cannon, and tonight is really extra exciting because I have everybody. Well, not everybody, but I have the bulk of the Glass Cannon here with me. Usually we just have Joe and Lil Troy. I call him Lil Troy. He doesn't know I call him that, but it's just sort of a diminutive nickname I have for Troy. Anyway, normally we just have those two and then maybe somebody from the Stream of Blood, but tonight I've got a full house, a flush of Glass Cannoneers. So let's quit dragging our feet and bring them in. I'm trying to think if there's anything I should tell you before we get started. Oh, I'll tell you this. Blades in the Dark is the game that we're playing. Okay? It's by a guy named John Harper. It's extremely, extremely excellent. It is one of the greatest tabletop role-playing games ever created. I would say easily the best that is originally created in the last 20 years. I'm not exaggerating. It's very fun to play. Go and buy a copy. I think there's even word that they're making it into a TV show now, which rarely happens to tabletop role-playing games. That's a rumor that's being bandied about. So go buy Blades in the Dark and play it. Tonight, we're going to be continuing a game that we played at GenCon with the crew of Bravos known as the Busted Mufflers. And let me bring those mufflers in now, our Glass Cannon members. This guy I had the pleasure of meeting at GenCon 2021. He is a fantastic artisan and actor and gentleman about town, a rake with the Glass Cannon. Please welcome Matthew Capodicasa.
Hey, Jared, how you doing?
Hey, I'm really good. How are you?
I'm good.
And did you know I was going to bring you in first?
I didn't. And by that, I was like, rake? Oh, he must mean skid.
No. I think, you're playing a dashing, roguish gentleman, but also you are a dashing, roguish gentleman.
Oh, go on.
I like to. I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass. You have a very gentlemanly air about you.
Oh, I appreciate that. And you met me in the least gentlemanly place possible, which is the dressing room of a comedy club. So
that's true. Yeah,
I'm glad that was how you felt about me. It makes me feel good.
Yeah, the dressing rooms of comedy clubs are frequented by scum and villainy. Just the lowest strata of society you can find in the green room of a comedy club. But here I found, Matthew, a diamond in the rough.
Oh. Are you massaging the diamond right now? Is that what's happening?
I'm stroking your head.
Ah, okay. Oh, I hope
that's okay.
No, that's
really I'm going to bring in another player. This guy, wow, what a talented actor and gamer, and just a huge asset to any game. And we are so happy that he is joining us for a late night, if you're on the East Coast, game of Blades in the Dark. Please welcome the wonderful Skid Maher.
Oh, hello.
Whoa, I love your hair.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I just had it done.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know you were growing your hair out. It looks really, really, really good.
I don't want to tell tales out of school. I don't want to give away all my secrets, but it's not all mine.
Oh, really? You've scalped people and you're using their...
Only my hairdresser knows for sure.
I like your Max Headroom background as well.
Oh, yes, I hope if this is distracting, I'll change it. But
no, not at all. Were you a Max Headroom fan back when
Huge Max Headroom fan. I love Matt Frewer. I love that show. It was such a big inspiration for like the Cyberpunk game and everything. It was like mentioned specifically like in the book. Huge Max Headroom fan.
If you don't know what we're talking about, you Generation Z Zoomers. Do yourself a favor and YouTube Max Headroom. I bet it's all on YouTube. I'm surprised that everything is on YouTube now. You don't have to go anywhere else.
That's true.
So go check it out and you'll know what Skid's background actually means. Coming next to the stage, to the digital stage, he is I would say he's the heart of the Glass Cannon, the bloody beating heart of the Enterprise. He's a man with a beard, and I respect that. He is a hell of a Blades in the Dark player. Please welcome Mr. Joe O'Brien.
Hey, buddy. Would we call this a beard? I guess some people would. Thank you.
A beard.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I've never been introduced quite that way, as a man with a beard. It just sounds so manly. I love it.
You can tell I have a lot of stage and comedy experience from my intros, which are not awkward at all. They just set you up for success.
Yes. I could tell you spent hours today prepping these introductions.
Right. I mean,
open to the show. Yeah.
A lot of GMs work on the game, not me. You know. Me, I'm like, you know what? This intro needs a rewrite. What can I mention that isn't just an obvious kind of grasping at straw? His beard. And then I put that in the intro, and then the audience is just like, "Why is this making me come?" You know, they
get that complaint a lot at all of our live shows. So.
Yeah. I had to buy new pants. You owe me pants. You know,
That's right. So many lawsuits.
Yeah,
it's the sheer virility of all the facial hair.
Yeah,
it's hard. It's not a lot of people have that much self-control. It's a hard thing.
It's a late night game, so we can talk about things like that. So speaking of things that make me come, this next performer is just an absolutely orgasmically talented man, a game master and a player. We had a lot of fun at GenCon. It's fun to be gaming with him again. Please welcome Troy Lavallee.
Oh, hello. We need to start selling glass cannon cum rags.
Can you tell it's after dark?
It's getting a little late here.
Welcome to Glass Cannon After Dark.
Can you tell it's a charity drive for children's hospitals?
Wait, is it really? Whoops.
Yeah, I hope the kids are asleep because we're gonna get a little dirty here.
Well, look, we can have a little adult fun in order to raise money for charity. I mean, that's allowed, right? I mean,
sure. I think so.
All right, so let's start the game. You guys are all in a really sweaty brothel, and you're naked as fuck.
I'll take a double pocket.
Did anybody ever play with people who were uncomfortably like that when they were younger? Like,
oh, sure,
players who would just be like, "I go to the house of sex work in the village, and I just spend the whole time there, the whole game."
We still play like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We constantly have to edit out Matthew's trips to the House of Ill Repute. I mean, frequently.
In all seriousness, have we had a scene? I'm trying to rack my brain through all of the shows we've done. Have we ever?
Yeah,
we've done like museum trips.
Grant and Ellie. In
Raiders. I was not there.
We had a horrific scene.
Yeah, the famous taint bacon scene.
Yeah.
I found myself with Ross Bryant on last Sunday, guys. You know Ross Bryant, just having the opposite of a trip to the House of Ill Repute, just suddenly role playing just a very kind of quiet, sort of perhaps sexual romance scene for about 10 minutes, and then he was like, "This is the most real romance scene we've ever done," and I was like, "Yeah, but then a monster attacks," and then we got out of it. I got the heck out of there. Not because I'm afraid to do one with Ross Bryant. I felt safe with Ross Bryant, but just because, those are tough scenes to do. So are the House of Ill Repute scenes. Okay, speaking of tough things to do, are you ready to play some Blades in the Dark?
Yes,
absolutely.
And as always,
one thing I wanted to say is just to remind everybody about the charity stream here. We've already raised. Let me check in. We're just about to surpass $24,000 for our team right now. Our goal is 35, so we're only $11,002 away. And I mean, we raised over 11,000 during the Gloomhaven stream alone. So if you've been waiting all day to make that last big donation, or if you've already donated but you can find an extra $5-10 in your wallet, do the double down. A bunch of people did that in the Gloomhaven stream. They had already donated 5, 10. Like, you know what? I'm going to do another 5 or 10. If we do that, we will crush this goal. We'll throw that link in the chat. Some of us had personal goals. Mine was 10,000, and I'm almost there. I'm like at 75. So you can either donate to us individually or to the team, or start your own team, raise money for yourself, for your own cause, and then it would go to our team goal as well. Thank you to everybody that's donated. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, do all the things Troy said. All right. So as usual, when we play Blades in the Dark, it starts with my slightly overwritten intro.
Oh, God,
1,000 years ago, this was a land of beauty and magic. Then came the cataclysm that blotted out the sun and ripped open the gates to the land of the dead. The city of Duskfall is a metropolis of factories and tenements protected by crackling towers of lightning. Outside the walls is a wasteland of vengeful spirits. Inside the walls is a wretched hive of scum and villainy, intrigue and corruption. Life is cheap in a city ruled by death. The sun is gone. The only thing that shines in Duskfall are the blades in the dark. In the dark. In the dark.
Man, you just, I'm going to have nightmares of that tonight. Just your face filling my screen.
And if previous experience is any indication, that will be the thumbnail.
It always is. YouTube knows how to pick them.
They know. Okay, so excellent. Our crew are a crew of bravos. That means mercenaries, fighters, ass kickers, extortionists for hire. And when we established this crew during GenCon 2021 in a fantastic live show attended by 200 people, we established that they're called the Busted Mufflers, not because of the automobile muffler, but because they silence their victims. We also found out because Matthew needed something to write on and Skid gave him a voided check, that the Busted Mufflers...
It was all he had.
It's all he had. It's all Skid had for Matthew to write on. We established that the Busted Mufflers, their calling card is they leave a voided check taped over their victim's mouth. Needless to say, their reputation is strange. And because they are strange bravos, remember, gentlemen, that during the score that we're going to play through tonight, the stranger your action, the more likely I am to give you a break on it, because your reputation is strange. Let's just kind of do a roll call of our members. Troy, would you briefly describe your character?
Yes, his name is Genius LOCI, aka Blueprint, former architect's assistant that turned to a life of crime. And he looks like Christopher Lloyd's character in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is extra special because I was just watching a Hallmark movie starring Christopher Lloyd, and he was delightful.
That man has range.
I taped the last 10 minutes because we had to get online here. I can't wait to see how it ends.
I bet I can tell you, even with not even knowing what the movie
Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. You know,
so many of those Hallmark movies have those huge twist endings.
Yeah.
Don't spoil it.
Whenever they kiss, you know there's 90 seconds left. But funnily enough, it always starts with like if it's a female lead or a male lead, they're in the city and then they go back to their hometown usually. So in this one, it's the female lead. She's a surgeon in New York, and she's supposed to go home for Christmas. And there's usually a best friend. And oftentimes, in their attempt to sort of add more diversity, they almost always give the white female lead an Asian best friend. And so they did, and it was my ex-girlfriend in the and you understand, I watch these around the clock. I mean, I can't get enough of them. It's like Christmas morphium in my veins, and so that was really funny. And then
it was bound to happen
there. Yeah. Anyways, that's my character, Genius LOCI, and I can't remember what he sounds like, so I'm going to give him whatever voice comes to my head.
No problem. Yeah, look, please try to keep continuity with the thing that happened live 2 months ago that only the people there saw, because otherwise it's going to be a mess. All right. Joe O'Brien, please describe your character for everybody.
Oh, gladly. I'd like to welcome back to the show Cannabis Barnes, aka Wraith, a Taika Rossi cutter who is a ghost fighter. Can make his hands turn blue and spiritual as he literally wrestles and grapples with ghosts. His voice was deep and a little dark and like that, but I want it to be kind of weird too. I don't think I was weird enough, so I'm going to be a little weirder this time. I need to be more strange. I also had a trauma, which I don't recall.
Oh, don't worry about that because I have those right here. Genius LOCI is haunted by the time he was beaten to death by horses. Not to death, but he was beaten near death.
A gang of horses.
A gang of horses.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't want no trouble.
Where you going with those peaches? What did you have? You had like peaches or something?
Sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes.
Where you going with those sweet potatoes? I don't want no trouble.
I don't want no trouble.
I forgot about that.
Cannabis Wraith Barnes is unstable.
Unstable. Okay, that's what
unstable. Yeah. And then and now let's talk to Matthew Capodicasa. Matthew, please introduce your character.
I am playing a formerly handsome rogue who now has a crow's feet and a beer belly.
That's me.
Who was dishonorably discharged from the Emperor's service from playing a bunch of late night card games, and his name is Trey Lavallee.
Trey Lavallee, not based on anyone we know.
Not based on anyone we know.
Not inspired by anyone.
Not inspired at all by anyone I've ever met or regularly work with. He's also known as the Haberdasher for reasons as yet unrevealed. And
hopefully this session we'll find out. He'll make a hat or something.
Yeah, or maybe he'll make a hat out of someone's arm.
Right, out of somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
And I have that he is reckless. He is reckless.
He is reckless, though he is never reckless with his pet cat, Schminus.
That's right.
That's right.
He's a huge cat guy. I remember that from our session. Yeah. Now we're gonna move to Skid's character, and I just want to say I'm so proud of myself for in a con game presentation to a bunch of people, like to a live audience, we managed to kill Skid's character. Now, I'm not going to take total credit for it. Skid helped me kill his character. But he was blown up at the docks by a bomb he himself set. And I think that's just a beautiful thing. So, Skid, you are playing a new character tonight. Please describe this character, and if you'd like, you can give him a name, because I don't know he had a name when we talked about it earlier.
No, he didn't. Yes, my last character was blown up by his own ice bomb, partially as a result of his inability to acknowledge any number over 3.
Right. Right.
My new character is a channeler who was a sort of, I'm picturing him as kind of a tribal noble. It's like someone in the court of like a Caractacus, say, like around the Roman Empire, was captured brought to Duskfall and escaped. And his name is Johannes Estremark. His people called him Stormcrow. However, in Duskfall, he's been given the rather more playful name of Rain Delay, because of his propensity to go to ghost baseball matches, and if it's not going well for the home team, just cause a little storm. Pick it up the next day. Give one a little break.
Little storm.
So, yes. But I prefer Stormcrow.
Stormcrow.
Whoa, nice tat, Stormcrow.
I like the finer things in life.
Stormcrow, aka Stormcrow, aka Rain Delay. I love it, and the thing. I'll just say that if you're a Blades fan, he is a whisper. And the thing that's cool about Blades in the Dark is these playbooks, what you might call classes in other games, they can do all. They're versatile. So some whispers specialize in summoning demons and ghosts, but this one is a channeler. He channels energies, and that's all I'll say about that. Rain Delay gives you a little hint.
I've never seen anything like this. I'm curious. This is great.
It's very interesting. All right, so we are going to start. I'm going to set a scene It is the HQ of the Busted Mufflers, which is a crumbling tower on a wall in Charter Hall, I think, because we know that there's the original wall. So Duskfall, here I go. So Duskfall is surrounded by walls, but those walls more specifically have lightning towers on them. And the reason that they need to have that is because 1,000 years ago, the gates of the land of the dead were cracked open, and now there are spirits everywhere. The original city walls are in Charter Hall, which is the center of the city's government. A lot of it's like ministries of taxation, licensing, things like that. So there is an old wall, and there are a lot of apartments and domiciles that are kind of like hanging off the side of this wall. And that includes the crumbling, vine-strewed HQ of the Busted Mufflers. And on this particular night, they are entertaining a guest. I believe it is Genius Loci, who was assistant to an architect.
Yes, Auguste.
Auguste, the master architect, has asked to meet with you all because he has a job for you. Now, last time we did a score, and we're going to do a score this time because downtime doesn't really make sense as a kind of standalone one-time thing that you do. Mm-hmm. But what I will say is, I don't know that anybody remembered their stress from the GenCon game, but if you did and you want to get rid of it, roll a d6 and get rid of that much stress. Okay. Did anybody remember their stress or anything like that from the GenCon game? You may not have. We never thought we would be continuing this game.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I know it was high. I mean, I think you should roll a d6.
I rolled a 6, so I feel good being completely clean.
Yeah, Genius Loci, if you roll a 6, you're clean. But I maybe you're right. Maybe everybody should roll a die and add that much stress. Maybe that makes sense.
And then roll a die and take away that much. We'll see what you're right.
Oh my God, Joe.
I have the sheet.
You are a parody of yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, whenever you do a score, you're not doing it right if you're not at near max stress by the end. So like,
right. So, I mean, let's do this. Let's do it this way. A lot of our audience tonight has never seen us run this crew of Bravos. So tonight, go stress-free, because as Joe said, by the end of it, you should be maxed out. That's how the game is supposed to work. And so if you know, whatever you have on your sheet, get it to 0. I mean, Skid's character is definitely at 0.
I know one of my abilities allows me to assist without paying stress, so I think I kept my stress pretty much in check either way.
Very good. So on this particular night, the Busted Mufflers are gathered in their tower in Charter Hall, and standing in before them is the Silver Fox, Auguste, the master architect. He's tall, he's handsome, he's got silver hair, he's got the finest Victorian style clothes that Duskfall can offer. He had made his way up from the slums of Crowsfoot, as you well know, Genius Loci, to become one of the main architects of Duskfall, and he is pointing across the city, because you can see from your tower where there is another tower, a structure that is half built. You can see it kind of reaching up into the sky, the moon sort of highlighting its silhouette. It looks like a broken claw right now because it is not complete. And Auguste is saying, I need your help. I was good to you, wasn't I, Genius?
You were the best.
I mean, I'm the one that gave you the nickname Genius. I mean, that's a really nice nickname.
It's true. No one ever respected me when I was just Carl.
That's right.
Carl Loci.
Me and Genius, he looks at the rest of you. Me and Genius, we go way back, okay? Genius, he was a gutter snipe. He was a shipwrecked child, and I turned him into what he is today. That's what I've done for you, so I'm asking a favor from you now.
Anything. Anything for you, Auguste.
Thank you. That structure, you can see it. That will be my greatest creation. That is the Needle Imperiale. It is destined to be an office of insurance brokers from Wintercliff Warranties. But the structure itself is a work of art that I have slaved over for 5 years. But I've hit a bit of a snag. The Severosi workers who are slated to finish the Needle Imperiale, they have stopped. They refuse to continue. They say there are dangers that I and the people that have hired them are unaware of. They threaten to unionize.
Oh, dear God.
Well, we can have that. Obviously, we can have that. I mean, is there anything to drink here?
Yes. Yes, of course. Trey.
Thank you.
You're an avid alcoholic. Could you perhaps
Your words, not mine.
Give a drink to our guest?
And Trey opens up his vest and he has a series of flasks sewn into his vest, and he pulls one out and offers it.
Hey, now that's the way to do it. I got to get one of those coats. Thank you. And he takes a long swig. He goes, if this building isn't finished, if my masterpiece isn't finished, I'm completely ruined. I need you, by one way or another, to convince these Severosi to finish the Needle Imperiale within the next month. We're nearly there. They've made it all the way to the 12th floor, but the 14th floor is not yet complete. I'm desperate. I'm looking for muscle. I'm looking for someone who can scare them or find out why they've stopped and fix whatever the problem is. Are the Busted Mufflers the right men to come to?
Well, it depends. I guess it depends on what you know that you're not telling us. Like, is it a dangerous place? Is there something wrong that you well know about that you're not telling us?
I have no idea what you're talking about. And he takes a long look. The workers, I mean, they're lying. I mean, they're making things up. They're making up stories. They say that the Needle Imperiale is haunted, but how could it be haunted? It's a new building. A new building can't be haunted.
All right. You got any specifics? Anything they said that they saw? You know, I'm a bit of an expert in ghosts, as is my new friend Johan here. What's your name? Johannes?
Hello, Johannes.
Johannes.
You can call me Stormcrow. Many people around here call me Rain Delay. It's a bit absurd name, but you can call me Johannes.
Rain Delay.
Or Stormcrow, or Rain Delay, whatever you like.
Yeah, see, I like your energy. I like this guy's energy, and I think he can talk to these people because, you know, I can't talk to them. Like, once I was a member of the rabble like you, just a ground-hugging peasant scraping together coins, trying to find my next meal, often failing and settling for booze instead. But I've gotten over all of that. Anyway, the problem is, there have been 2 deaths on the Needle Imperiale. There have been 2 workers who fell to their death. Now, I have budgeted out and designed every single aspect of the Needle Imperiale, including the construction process. And I have slated for at least 5 deaths as acceptable losses. I mean, and so the fact that they're stopping after 2, it's just, it can't. But these men fell from the 14th floor. And so I believe that is the problem area.
Perhaps it's these men whose ghosts now haunt the Needle.
Well, yeah, except that they said that the first one that fell was pushed by a ghost. So they're saying the deaths are due to the haunting, but it makes no sense because the needle is a new. I mean, all the materials are new. I mean, I sourced them from. I mean, some of it is from Aruvia. Okay, and let me tell you, not cheap.
No.
Wintercliff Warranties has deep pockets. Deep pockets.
Maybe ghosts are like pigeons, and their nest has been disturbed, and they've flocked to a new home.
Yeah, sure. I mean, something like that. I mean, I don't know anything about ghosts, but that sounds like the kind of shit I need you guys to be thinking about. Sure.
Or perhaps ghosts are like monkeys, and their bananas have been stolen.
That seems farther from the mark, actually. That doesn't seem like the kind of thing.
I'm just trying to contribute. I
appreciate that.
I apologize.
No, it's okay. I mean, I like your general vibe. Like, I need weirdos like you to handle
outfits. I love your outfits. We have to speak later. I enjoy the finer things, you see.
Yes. Well, clearly so do I.
Every crew
you'll
needs
take
a
the
weirdo.
job.
Yes, we'll take it.
For
the sake of moving this along, we'll take it.
6 coin. It's what I've budgeted. 6 coin. Go and make those workers finish that needle.
We won't do it for a penny less than 6 coin.
Well, good, because that's what I'm offering.
All right.
Well, all right then. We've got a deal.
So, we have entered the Blades in the Dark score planning phase.
Score planning graphic. And just get my book.
Welcome
First of all,
score planning. So that means that right now you need to decide your approach: assault, deception, stealth, occult, social, or transport.
And it's all on the character sheet too. Everything you need is on
everything you need is on the character sheet.
We should assault the bottom floor so that it tips over. No.
An assault in this case might mean you assault the ghosts or assault the workers who are refusing to work and are unionizing.
Oh, maybe we could do just a full Scooby-Doo thing where we pose as the ghosts and then we get revealed later. It's just like, oh, it was just old man McCreary all along. And it's like, I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you striking workers. And then they go back to work.
I love that idea. And that would be a deception.
Yeah.
Deception.
So we would pose as we would go to the 14th floor and pose as ghosts.
Ooh,
and then allow ourselves to be vanquished and or revealed.
Yes.
There's a way to pull this off that isn't ridiculous. I think.
I imagine. I guess.
I imagine, but I don't want to go that way.
I like this idea. What's this one step below that absurdity? Deception.
For the record, I am fine with ridiculous.
We could disguise ourselves as paranormal investigators sent there by this particular architect to clear out the ghosts.
Ghostbusters.
And we make a scene about how this guy is looking out for their safety. That's his top concern. And so he's sending in paranormal experts.
Oh my God.
And
Brilliant.
If need be, we have Johannes pretend to be a ghost and we can vanquish him.
That's true.
That's plan B.
Okay.
So it does sound like the bravos of the Busted Mufflers are going for a deception. Either way, you are pretending to be someone you are not in order to gain access, move around inside and solve the problem, right? Is that correct?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, so it sounds like a deception. And so you must give me your detail. What is the detail of your deception?
Jumpsuits with our name on them.
Can we also bring some baby powder to make those jumpsuits look a little ghostly if need be?
Certainly. Why not? I would say, though, that there is a specific detail you need for a deception, and that is the method of deception. So is the method of deception costuming?
I think, what are they going to take us seriously? How are they going to take us seriously?
I mean, it feels like in Duskfall, a ghost.
Maybe the detail is we dress up like spirit wardens.
Right. There are just to give you to tell you about the world a little bit. The spirit wardens would be people that everybody would really kind of sit up and pay attention to, even if you were posing as them. The other people are the railjacks. Railjacks are notorious ghost busters, quote unquote, because railjacks they guard cargo that goes back and forth between the different cities through the Deadlands, through the death world that surrounds your city. So if you posed as either, you would that would be quite a deception, and it would do quite a bit in terms of gaining confidence.
Yeah, I also
the railjack sounds good. Yeah.
Oh, the railjack sounds more feasible. The spirit wardens is way better because I imagine it is highly illegal. Like I don't think it's highly illegal to pose as a railjack, but a spirit warden, man.
But what one thing could be interesting if we're the railjacks and we say we let them in, like to gain their confidence by saying, "Listen, you're not imagining things. There are ghosts here because we were using this place to hold cargo, and there must have been some ghosts that got in."
Detail. Okay.
Right, that's the detail. We lie to them about that. Like we were using this place, so why don't we just all figure out how to do this? We'll take the cargo away. The ghosts will disappear. You guys continue your job. Everybody's happy.
All right. So I guess maybe the detail is we need to first install cargo, like fake cargo somewhere up in this place, and then go and retrieve it. So we need to get it in there without being seen. And then we need to go retrieve it and be like, this is the only thing that was haunting the place or whatever. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
It is making sense. I think some of it can be worked out via flashback, the excellent Blades in the Dark flashback mechanic. But I think that the main, what we call the method of deception is that you are posing as railjacks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who are people who specifically deal with protecting cargo against ghosts. So that is done. And so now we can move on to the engagement roll.
Yeah, here we go.
Here we go. It's time to
base roll of
dance,
1d6.
Matthew. Are you ready to dance?
Is the operation particularly bold and daring? Well, you know what? I tell you something. If you had chosen to be the spirit wardens, I might give you that. But you went with the railjacks. You went a little bit more like, hey, we're a little bit more believable. I'm not going to give you that.
I wish you had explained the stakes of your suggestion, Joe. I didn't know there were ramifications to not being a spirit warden. Too bad you didn't tell us.
There are dice ramifications. I'm punishing you for your lack of in-world knowledge, Matthew, and I won't stop doing it until you learn. Until you learn the setting, okay?
It's only fair.
Classic pain in the ass GM. It's just like,
that's me.
This is the only way you'll learn. This is the only way I can teach you.
Plan's detail exposes a vulnerability of the target, hits them where they're weakest. I'm going to say that I'm going to give you a die because I think that it's a clever way. The obvious is assault. You guys are going
playing
with
on
something.
their fear. We're saying right away, it's real. Everything you believe is real.
Yes, I like it. I believe it. I follow you on that, and so I'm giving you a die for that. Friends, context, provided, or insight. You know what? I'll give one to you because your buddy August is a very close friend of Genius LOCI, and he's giving you some insight. Target is a lower tier. Okay, nothing there. Okay, so now the disadvantages. Operation is overly complex, contingent on many factors. So I just want to make sure I understand the operation. You guys are not going to necessarily bother to get rid of any kind of ghosts. You're just going to go and make a very good show of railjacking the building so that they'll get back to work.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're doing. Unless we're doing a cult. If we're doing deception, I think what we're doing is like
planting fake cargo.
Look,
that's the engagement. Like we're there.
We're all kind of bad guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Like that's the reality of this game system. We are a thieves guild. We are particularly violent and vicious gang as a what are we again?
Bravos.
As a bravos. And so yeah, I think that it could be well within our rights to be like, yeah, we don't care if he gets to his 5 deaths. You know, what do we care? We just want to get paid. Like that's our job. So it's like the easiest and safest for us is to just fake them out and make them think it's not haunted anymore and go back to work. Great. We just have to roll the dice on 1 more month. But
we'll tell them we're going floor by floor, and really we'll just sit on the 5th floor and have a couple drinks, play a little cards.
So right now you have.
We can also let loose a ghost and then capture him in front of him. We got him.
Yeah.
Right now you have 3 dice. You currently have 3 dice in your engagement roll.
Keep that in the back pocket.
All the advantages you have, but I feel like for the operation is not overly complex. Target is strong against this approach. I think I have to take 1 die away. So I'm rolling 2 dice for you. And this will determine your position at the very beginning of the score. So if it's a 6, you're in a very controlled position. If it's a 4 or 5, you're in a risky position, but that's what you signed up for. If it's a 1 to 3, you're in a desperate position. So we want to hope one of these 2 dice comes up a 6. Let's see how it goes. And I rolled a 2 and a 3. You are in a desperate position to begin the score.
I don't think we've ever started a score this bad.
No. Not good.
No, we never have. I now want to know about your loadout. I just want you to tell me. You don't have to. So the way items in Blades in the Dark works, which is an incredibly innovative system, which is how even D&D should work, in my opinion, is you choose your items as you go. So you just decide your loadout, how heavily armed your character is, and then as you go, you check off things that are possible items for you. And when you get to your limit, you're at your limit. So what loadout is everybody going with? Genius LOCI, what's your loadout?
I'm going to go with the normal loadout. I want to stay light on my feet.
Cannabis.
I'm going with a heavy loadout. I think it works for us in this case. I think it works for the deception to say we're going in strong to get these things. And I'm bringing all my equipment to do it. And so, yeah, I think the deception works toward it in this case.
Great. Johannes, a.k.a. Stormcrow.
I think I'm going to go with a light loadout. I think I'm going to pose as like sort of like a medium, you know, like
interesting.
Someone who's like sensitive to ghost vibrations. Like that's my role in this group.
So, very interesting how you guys are picking it based on your deception. So that's really interesting and cool. And finally, Trey Lavallee.
Trey's going to go with the heavy loadout. I agree with you, Joe. I think it helps our deception if we're bringing a lot of gear and equipment into this score.
So I said that I have to start you in a desperate position, and so I shall. There are workers, and they are investigating themselves. This is what you heard from the workers down at the bottom. Told you that there were workers investigating the 14th floor already. And so you decided all to head up there using the sort of complex pulley system that they have rigged in lieu of an elevator. There is sort of this sort of outdoor kind of hanging on the side of the Needle Imperial sort of basket that they use to bring workers up and down from the top of the needle. And you all hopped in to get up there and go and deceive the leadership who are already up there at the top. And this is your desperate position. As you start up and you've gone quite a few floors, 8 or 9, you suddenly hear from the chain that is kind of click, 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 ratcheting up and lifting the 4 of you up to where you can go talk to the leadership. You suddenly hear a couple of loud metallic pops from the chain holding up the lift. And that is why it is desperate, because what do you do?
Oh, dude, this is amazing. So we're going in for this deceptive mission. And it turns out, that this haunting stuff is nonsense. And it's actually a horrifically dangerous site that we're going into. And we're going to get really hurt because of the actual mechanical issues with the project.
Your buddy, our goose, has been cutting corners.
Right. Get your boy all goose on the phone.
Pop, pop, pop. You can hear links above you just kind of breaking, like giving way. And you can tell me, like, you don't all have to take an action right now, but someone needs to act quickly. So what are you going to do?
Can Trey use his prowl to scramble up to the chain and see if he can reconnect it, or at least hold on to the chain when the cart drops and he'll be saved?
Aha! I love that. Of course he can. And I will say that this is a I'm going to call this a desperate action because I said you're in a desperate position. And I'm going to say it will have standard effect, which it means if he does this without a crit, he will at least get far enough up the chain that he's not going to fall.
All right, and because this is a desperate action, I can use my Daredevil special ability to get +1d to this roll.
Oh, nice. Ooh. Nice. If
I also take -1d to any resistance rolls against consequences.
Okay, so the consequences, and I'll go ahead and lay them out now, are damage. And that's why this is so desperate. I'm trying to kill these characters so that we never can play them again.
You've got an hour and 13 minutes.
And I'm gonna give them a level 3 harm, a severe harm. They'll be incapacitated if this breaks with them on it and it falls to the bottom. Right?
Oh my god!
That's how desperate this is. And one of you will be like dead, and you'll be incapacitated. You'll be like, okay, see you guys later, and then you'll go off and live your life. But the rest of you will survive. So Matthew Capodicasa, please have the haberdasher roll his prowl right now.
All right. I rolled a 4, a 5, and a 6.
A 6 is a flat success. And so as you are all watching, the haberdasher doesn't stop to tell you there's a problem. He doesn't stop to help you. He doesn't do anything except suddenly shimmy up the chain. And haberdasher, you are now on the chain above the place where the problem area is occurring. Like the chain links are popping below you now. I will just have the haberdasher think about what he wants to do next while the others tell me what they're going to do. I can tell you that the lift is starting to sway and kind of teeter.
Here's what I want to do. I want to use my survey skill, which I only have 1 pip in, to kind of use my sense of the way things are built to see if there's an area that I could get out of this, and we'll also like lead the team to do so. Like, go, let's just jump here. Wait a second, and we can jump here, and we'll be fine. Or survey, just anything that could get us safe.
Yeah, use the survey action. That sounds great. Would you like to be, does anybody want to aid you since you're trying to help everybody? You're like, look for a way to get off. Like, does anybody want to aid you? There's all kinds of ways to use teamwork if anybody wants to do that.
Yes. I mean, I could lead a group action, right? Where everyone rolls. We've never done that.
I mean, we have, but it's
not very good, right?
Well, this is an ugly situation because you'd take stress for every failure, and I'd be rolling twice and taking the lower. And I actually want to do something totally different. So
right, okay, all right. It's because basically everyone would roll their survey, and we'd add up the successes, but I take stress for every failure. Okay.
Yes, that's how. Yeah, that's exactly.
And
how
I would
works.
be rolling twice and taking the lower, so it's likely a failure.
Nobody has to assist if they don't want to.
How does it work if you don't have any pips in it? When you
roll 2d6 and take the lower.
That's when it's okay.
Yeah. I'll hear a devil's bargain just because I'd be a fool not to.
Okay, great. Devil's bargain for this survey roll is that you can have +1 die, but great question. You can have +1 die, but when you your weird haphazard approach is going to be viewed as an invasion, not as an official visit.
Right. Okay. I'll take it. I'll take the bargain. We're gonna have to do we're gonna have some explaining to do.
Yeah. Your deception will be harder. Is what I'm basically saying.
Right. So like a worse effect. Here we go. 5.
5. So success with a consequence, very easy to determine in this case. You see that you can hop off on this floor. You're like on like the 9th floor. but hopping off means literally jumping. So the complication for your 5 or whatever is that you have to wait with perfect timing until another link might even have to pop so that it swings close enough to the 9th floor that you can leap into that window over there.
Okay, I share that information with the team.
Very good. Now I will go back to the person who's already acted. Haberdasher, do you want to continue to shimmy up the chain, or would you like to help? And by the way, I think both are super valid. Or would you like to help or try to do something about these links that are popping here?
So you just said when Genius shared this information, we need another chain to pop, another link to pop for them to be able to jump.
That's what I said. Yeah, that is what I said.
Well, I guess I should ask then if I have. Ooh, let's see. Would my burglary gear include something I can use to like a lock cutter that I can use to snap a link in the chain?
I think it certainly almost definitely would. So go ahead and check off your burglary gear. And you brought that with you. You chose heavy loadout, I believe.
I did.
And you can go ahead and snip another link so that the lift starts swinging back. I'm not going to make you roll for it. I think that just checking off that and saying you're using it, you snip a link and it starts to swing back toward the 9th floor. And now I will ask.
I swear I'm helping.
Yeah. He climbs up there and is like, click.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, he's not doing any bloody
good. What are you doing? You moron.
It's a finesse job. It's science.
You're killing us.
So I will ask the players who haven't gone yet, Cannabis and Stormcrow, what are you going to do?
So Cannabis is going to immediately, as soon as it starts swaying, he's just like, fucking lying bastard. It is a wreck, this fucking building. And you start clipping whatever you're doing up there, Trey Lavallee, and he's just like, what the fuck are you doing? And he reaches into his trench coat and he's going to, and he just rips out the grappling hook and ropes of climbing gear that he just like pulls out of his trench coat, and he's ready to latch it onto the wall and just like grab. He's like, hold on to me. And he's just going to like let these guys grab onto him and just like latch onto the building and then deal with it after. And
great.
He can hold, I think, out long enough and use the climbing gear to get into a window.
Great. Do you want to go ahead and roll that action? And what action do you think you'll use here? I think you need to check the climbing gear, obviously, but I want an action from you as well.
Yeah, I'll check the climbing gear, and I guess I would use skirmish or prowl.
Ooh,
prowl?
I think that if I'm being a tough GM, and by God I am, you must use your prowl, because skirmish means fighting.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
Skirmish means fighting.
Okay. And because this will result in level 3 harm and a failure, I will push the roll.
Yeah,
because
you take 2 stress.
This is life or death right now.
Yeah,
I mean, literally. Level 3 harm is you're out of the
get an extra die
scenario. So I had 1 die, so that'll get me up to 2 die. So yeah. What about the climbing gear? Can that get me a second or like a third die? I mean, that's what I'm using it for, right?
I hope I'm doing Blades in the Dark exactly right, but the climbing gear feels very appropriate here.
I've been trying to look it up. It's shocking to me that
it's really hard to
find
in
the index.
Yeah, I think it's towards the back.
I think to me it feels shockingly appropriate, so I think you can go ahead and take a die for that.
Okay.
I remember reading
it does
like
check off 2 of my gear.
This is huge because it's desperate. It's basically Cannabis is trying to really Cannabis is trying to climb up the side of a skyscraper. So, which is not designed to be climbed up the side of. So desperate. But you will have, I think that if this succeeds, you'll have great effect, meaning you wanted to establish sort of a rope for everyone, is I think what you said.
Yes.
So that is the great effect you will achieve if you succeed at this. How many dice are you rolling right now? 3?
3. I'm going to do 3.
Oh, good for you.
Here we go. Oh man, I got a 4. I did get a 4.
Okay,
3 die.
A 4 is a success with a consequence. Yeah. So
well, at least it's not level 3 harm. So
I'm going to rule that I'm going to add a point to a clock, and the point I'm adding to the clock I'm adding to is called the needle falls.
Then wow.
The needle falls, and I think that
I'll track it too.
Talk about a shitty construction. When you get up onto the side of this thing, you feel like the actual ledges, like that you're like climbing on and like hooking your hooks into, are like they're loose. Like the whole thing is like kind of coming apart. And so I'm going to add 1 tick to the needle falls. The needle falls has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 clicks.
Okay.
But I'm adding, that's my complication. That's my clock that I'm adding. The needle is closer to falling.
Yeah, so just to give people an idea that don't know. So this is what it would look like on a sheet. It's like you write on the sheet, the needle falls, then you make an 8-point clock, and you fill in 1. And then like any actions that take place over the course that Jared can like be like, oh, that makes it more unstable. You keep adding. And once it's at 8, the building collapses. So awesome.
Which would be a fail for this particular mission.
It would be a fail. It would be a major fail. So you succeeded, but that was your complication. And now there is a rope that everybody can climb. Stormcrow, what do you do?
Yes. Stormcrow, can I say that he has a pistol as part of his light loadout? And he is going to, as we're swinging in towards the building to make the jump, if there's a window, he's going to shoot out the window in a cool Die Hard move.
That's really cool. He can do that, and he also needs to give me an action roll to kind of like, he's clearly not using Cannabis's climbing rope. He's kind of using the opportunity that was created by Genius. So he's gonna fire, shatter the window, and jump through it. What action is he gonna use?
Can I use skirmish for that, for shooting the pistol?
You know what?
Or wreck. What is the difference between skirmish and wreck?
Wreck is more appropriate.
Okay.
Skirmish is usually more hand-to-hand kind of stuff, whereas wreck is definitely what you're doing. It's like,
cool.
Yeah. Will you use wreck for it?
I will. And that's so I have 2 pips in it, so it's best of 2.
You're gonna roll 2 dice and best of 2.
Okay.
You can take 2 stress to add another die if you'd like, or you can take a devil's bargain. My devil's bargain is that you will take a level 1 harm cut up by glass, but you'll get an extra die and you'll definitely succeed, because this is a desperate action, meaning like if you fail, you might fall to the bottom and like die, go incapacitated. And it will have great effect. You will be in the building.
Yeah, I will take the devil's bargain.
Great. So take a level 1 harm called cut up by glass.
Okay.
And go ahead and roll those die.
Okay, 3 dice.
How many?
Here.
3 dice. Okay.
3 dice.
Come on, buddy.
A 1, a 2, and a 6.
Oh, the 6 gave you a full. Thank God you got 3 dice. The 6 gives you a full success. And so, although you are a little bit cut up by glass, like you shatter the window with your gun and jump over right as the opportunity created by Genius and by Haberdasher swings the lift over there, and you are now on the 9th floor. And yeah, there are ladders and like stairs inside that can get you up to the top. So the only person left on the lift in the danger zone is Genius LOCI. Genius, what do you do?
Well, I've been watching this and waiting for just the right moment to jump. And once that chain pops, I will do, I guess, finesse.
finesse usually means manual dexterity. It usually means doing something intricate with your hands or with your timing. I'm going to allow it, but I need you to describe a little bit more, or I'm going to make it harder.
All right, so oh man, I want to cartwheel off the falling elevator.
I was just looking at it, and prowl, while it usually covers stealthy kind of stuff, because that's what I just rolled. I was reading it though, and it says to traverse skillfully. So it's sort of like getting from one place to another skillfully. So it could be prowl.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I have the same pip in each one, which isn't great. So I'm gonna need if anyone wants to assist by putting their hand out as I'm making the jump.
Well, I have the rope. I mean, I feel like that's the whole point of that action, was to like create a rope situation that would be more stable to grab.
Would I be able to use that? Would I be able to finesse that rope onto like swinging like Tarzan onto the 9th floor?
Yes, but Cannabis, even though you've done that, which is a great setup for him, you can take 1 stress and give him +1 die.
I'll do it.
Okay, great. So that's him reaching out or throwing the rope to you.
Come on, grab my hand.
All right, so I have 1 pip and then 1 for the assist.
That's right.
Okay.
I've already given you a devil's bargain, which you got a 4 or 5, right? So it ended up coming to pass, right? Like they already think you're invaders. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. By the time we start to try to deceive them, we're going to be getting off on the wrong foot. So I only have 2 die here. This is not great. I feel good. How about a 5 and a 6?
How about a 5 and a 6? And at that, how about we just cross 25,000?
Yeah.
Marathon. Thank you so much, Nash. You guys are amazing.
We're less than 10,000 away from our goal. We got this. We've already raised over $25,000.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Just a nice skid. Amazing. Yeah, you can see it over Skid's portrait. Clint, if we can make that large at one point, you can see the tracker on Skid's got it on his screen, which is amazing. It is so, there it is. Yeah. So fantastic. We cleared 25, getting close to 35.
Oh, we got this.
God, I could just look at Skid's wig all night.
That's right.
This is lovely.
Drink it in.
Thank you, Nash.
Thanks, you, Nash.
You guys
That's
are
amazing.
Awesome.
Excellently done. So as you leap, I mean, how many feet is it? You're on the 9th floor here. You're like 90 feet up. As you leap over and grab onto Cannabis's hands, the money tracker goes up and you are pulled up and into the building. Unless the haberdasher would like to kind of go on his own, you all can be here on the 9th floor. But okay. Haberdasher, that's not like a don't do that. That's like a you can really do that if you'd want. Like, just to be clear, you guys learned that the leadership was up kind of investigating the problem. Even though they refused to work, they were up there kind of looking around on the 14th floor. You can go up there because you are in a different position than the rest of them, or you can join them on the 9th floor.
I feel like as a lurking would be a great thing to do in this moment. So yeah, I think I'll continue to climb up the chain and sneak onto the 14th floor and see what I can. Maybe I didn't even get on the 14th floor. I kind of like hang out in the elevator shaft and kind of look in to see if I can see what they're finding out without them noticing me.
That is a great idea. And so I want you to tell me, what action are you using to be super kind of surreptitious and stealthy and watch them?
Prowl feels like the good answer here, but I know I just rolled that, so but
it's prowl.
Yeah.
It's prowl. Any action. So the weird thing about Blades in the Dark is any action can technically be used for any different challenge. You just have to use your imagination and talk me into it. And I'm not that hard to talk into things, but I'm also fine with you using prowl again. So in this particular case, I'm going to say that because you've done all this work already and got out of the desperate situation, this will be I'm going to call it risky for standard effect. You will get up there and you will see what they are doing up there without them seeing you.
All right,
but it's risky because if they find someone spying on them, bad things could happen.
All right, I'm gonna push myself and take 2 stress for an extra die.
Okay, great.
Because I don't want to mess this one up.
Yeah.
I rolled a 4.
4.
Ooh.
Okay, great. So that means success with a consequence. And I look at my little list of consequences. That's what I always do. And I'm going to call it reduced effect. I said standard effect. You would hear what they're saying, but I'm going to say that it is less effect. So limited effect. So you get all the way up there, but you can't hear them. You're not like all the way to where. So just so you know, you reach the quote unquote 14th floor, and it is it's not finished, obviously. So there are all these girders that are kind of like reaching up into the sky. They look like broken, crooked, like claws.
Cool.
And some of the floor of the 14th floor isn't finished either. So there are open areas that fall 10 feet down, 10 or 12 feet down into the 12th floor. And in this space, you see a Severosi who is dressed in workman's gear, but holding like this long kind of like rod or stave. And he is doing, saying something in Severosi, or you can't even hear him because he's swinging it around, and there are other Severosi around him dressed with like weird like shawls and like strange it looks like ritual gear on their head and stuff. And they're all standing around him, and they're also like shouting something or chanting something as he kind of swings this weird stave around out here. And I can tell you that as they are doing this, you see Haberdasher, dark clouds sort of start to gather overhead, and you hear the first peals of thunder echo out across Duskfall. So that's the Haberdasher. You don't know exactly what's going on. You're not close enough to hear what they're saying, but that's what you see. And so now I come back to my friends on the 9th floor. You have arrived. The 9th floor is complete. There is a stairwell. You have found it easily because there is nothing in the offices. The building is not yet complete, so there are very few features here.
Clear through, yeah.
Yeah. What would you like to do?
The first thing I'd like to do is thank Verdukai for donating to my page minutes ago. Thank you so much. And Morgan M as well. Thank you for the donation. Guys are amazing. Well, he's going to pull up his climbing gear, stuff it back into his belt. Just, did we lose the Haberdasher? Did he fall?
Yes.
Anyone see?
He's gone.
Well, we're better off without him anyway. We work better as a team of 3. I've always said that.
Genius turns to Johannes and says, "Where do these stairs go?"
They go up.
Thank you, Skid. Hold something for the true fans out there. That's all I wanted to do.
Well, I guess we take the stairs then. And he'll just start walking with his heavy load over towards the stairs.
He does do that, and as he is doing that, he hears dunk, 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 dunk coming down the stairs because there are a crowd of Severosi workmen moving down the stairs toward you, and they see your party, and they're all wearing dungarees, like kind of like high steel workman uniforms, hard hats, and stuff like that. But they're also carrying heavy wrenches and pipes and things like that. And when they see you, they start going, "Togon! Togon! Togon!"
What does that mean? I don't know what you're saying.
If you speak Severosi.
A man parts the crowd. He's 7 feet tall. He looks like he's made of fat and muscle, and they're the same thing. He's absolutely enormous. He fills the stairwell. He's shirtless. He's taken off of the top of his dungarees. They're hanging off. And you see that he has names listed down his torso. He points to an empty space below the names and points at you. And then all of the other Severosi point at him and go, "Togon." And that's when he moves forward with an enormous wrench to attack you.
Oh, let's talk about this.
I told you that your the devil's bargain was that your deception would not be easy, and so they have already pointed you out as invaders, interlopers, someone who should not be here, and they are attacking you. Well, specifically, their champion Togon is attacking you. What would everyone like to do?
Wait, everyone wait. Let's not get overly excited. I am Severosi myself. I know how to speak to these people.
Well, you better start talking fast.
I will. And he turns to the rest. It's just like, my dear friends, Togon, is it? We are all friends here. I mean, there's no need for any of us to get violent. And he just pulls out his pistol and starts shooting at him.
Whoa!
Get back to work. Just kill their champion.
I told you, I know how to speak to these people.
Two things about this, which is that one, it's just I think I gotta give you risky, and then I gotta give you great effect, because I think when someone comes at you, I mean, he brought a wrench to a gunfight,
right?
So I didn't expect that to happen. And then in the fact that you are also Severosi, I think that that Stormcrow is visibly Severosi. So I think that gives you a little bit of an advantage. You know what, Skid? I mean, like, I just feel like I'm going to give you +1 die to this, because that was an insane action. Okay, so risky for great effect, and you can have +1 die. What action are you using?
I'm gonna. Well, so skirmish is more hand to hand, and wreck is more. Is that?
Yeah. There's also hunt, which can be used sometimes to shoot. I mean, it's a little bit more
finesse
like
can be used to shoot.
Yeah, finesse can be. You can use any action for any challenge. I mean, that's the weird thing about Blades in the Dark, or the best thing. So let me know what you'd like to use, and then convince me that it will work.
Okay, I'm gonna use skirmish.
Okay.
I'm skirmishing with him, so I'm
going to allow it because he is in a skirmish with you. You just happen to be in a gunfight. I
happen to bring a gun.
Maybe you have to duck before you pull the trigger, and that would mean a skirmish. Okay. So roll skirmish, and I told you can have +1 die for being Severosi and kind of confusing them for a second.
Okay.
And here we go. How many dice is that?
That's 3.
Okay.
Okay, so a 3 and 2 5s.
A 3 and 2 5s means you succeed with a consequence. So, okay, your success is you do put a bullet into the guy as he's swinging the wrench at you. The complication is, let me see.
Clips him.
The complication is that when they see that it doesn't clip him. It shoots him. The bullet goes into his heart. You watch blood geyser out of his mouth, and Togon falls. The other Severosi, and by the way, as a Severosi, you should know this, they now have to avenge the death of their sworn brother. That is a compulsory part of the culture, especially as men that work together on the High Steel. And so now an entire crowd of Severosi is moving against you with their weapons to kill. And so now that is the complication. What does everyone want to do?
Can you please describe crowd? Is it 5 guys? Is it 25 guys?
Hold on, let me just roll. Let me roll.
Unrealistic number to fight.
I think I'm going to roll 3d6.
Okay.
That's
going to let us know.
That's a lot.
Could be 3 people.
I rolled a 6.
Nope, won't be 3.
A 2.
Okay.
Maybe 9.
And a 6.
Oh, man. Oh, no.
It's 14 men.
Okay. I want to propose a flashback.
Yes.
That's a great idea.
I imagine after our meeting with Ogus, after the rest of the crew maybe slipped away, I stayed back to talk to Ogus, architect to architect. And I wanted to be like,
Architect to assistant.
Well, assistant to the regional manager. Auguste, let's talk brass tacks here. If things go bad and I need to perhaps have an accident happen to our Severosi friends, is there any place? And like, one of the options I have for equipment is blueprint, an actual blueprint. Maybe if Auguste has the blueprints here, could you perhaps share with me the blueprints and show me a section that you may know is the structural integrity isn't as strong, that I could perhaps have an accident occur to some of the workers if need be?
Oh, interesting. Auguste, absolutely. Auguste absolutely has he knows every secret, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he actually admits to you that, look, in the stairwell, it's supposed to be just there for emergency evacuations or, frankly, it's dustfall, so drug deals. The stairwells, the wiring in there is the way we move electroplasm through them, and the lighting in there is we cut corners. We cut corners. So I wouldn't go messing with. Look, I'm telling you, LOCI, don't go messing with any of the wiring in the stairwell. You're not gonna like what happens.
I understand.
And so one stress for that flashback, because we've established that he's helping you, he's giving you information, and so by framing it that way, you've only taken one stress. And
Great.
So now we return to the stairwell where these men are all rushing toward you with heavy metal objects to beam you with.
And I'm just staring up at the wires as I remember this conversation with Auguste. Oh man. So what the hell can I do here? I want them to be like, wait a minute, can't we just grab wires and talk about this? You guys start.
In the Severosi fashion, let us all grab wires.
And talk.
Let's all strip a wire and stick it into our mouths and see what happens.
Is there? Let me ask you this: is there like a bucket of water or paint, any liquid nearby?
Boy, that feels like another whole flashback. No. Yeah. So this is a in construction building, and there is paint.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking if I have anything on my sheet that's like liquid slumber essence. But what I'm thinking is I want to grab something and just some liquid and throw it at the wires above a group of these guys to see if it'll activate and cause some sort of electrical
Here's what
surge.
I want as the GM, because I'm a piece of shit GM. I want you to take another stress. We don't have to go into the whole flashback.
Okay.
Because I gave you a bucket of paint sitting there. I want you to take another stress for that.
That's fair.
I do think that it would be in a building under construction, but I'm costing you stress to find it and grab it, and then I want to know what action you're using to mix paint with electroplasm.
Would it have been too stress if I said, "Is there a bucket of Diet 7-Up nearby?"
5 stress to find Diet 7-Up.
All right, I'll take the 1 stress. I feel like this is a finesse move because I've got to get it and I've got to really hurl it right at that open wiring that I see there.
Yeah, I buy that.
And I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to take 2 more stress, right, to give myself an extra die.
You want a devil's bargain? Let me tell you this. It's desperate because if you guys don't succeed at this, I'm going to give everybody in the stairwell that's not the haberdasher, but everybody else harm because it's a crowd of 14 guys swinging. And I'm going to make it level 2 harm. We're going to call it like, bruised.
-1D.
Right. You don't want that. So we're going to call that a desperate because you're going to take harm if you don't do it. And I'm going to say that it is, it'll have a great effect if you're successful. So do you want the devil's bargain?
I'll take the devil's bargain and do 1 stress then, and I'll take 2 dice.
My devil's bargain is, unless you get a 6, everybody takes a level 1 harm, which is like slightly fried. Like everybody is going to take electrical damage here.
Right. I know the risks. I'm hurling. Come on.
Are you taking the bargain?
I'm taking the bargain.
Oh. Hell yeah. Go for it.
All right. Come on. A 1 and a 6.
Yeah. There it is.
So, amazing.
Unbelievable.
There she blows.
Unbelievable.
I said that unless it was a full success, and a 6 is a full success. So Genius LOCI, awesome. He scoops up a pail of paint that was left over by some workers earlier, flings it really hard against one of the exposed wires that Auguste told him about. It hits the wires, which are kind of always sort of live and exposed. The watery nature of the paint mixes with the electricity, and suddenly everybody that has paint splattered on him, meaning the entire 14 workers that were running toward you, suddenly are now, does it kill them? No. Does it take them out of commission? No. Does it neutralize them for now? Absolutely. So they are neutralized. You can move by them easily. And while you think about your next move, I'm going to go back to the Haberdasher. Haberdasher, viewing this tableau, this strange ritual that's occurring, what do you do?
I'd like to ask for a flashback.
Okay, great.
As you know, the Haberdasher is he's in with the ladies, shall we say, or he thinks he is, and he has a number of wealthy consorts that he meets with and keeps them company for a short while, shall we say. And I would like to propose.
Matthew,
yes,
Joe. Ever play a character that isn't just you? Can't you just like imagine someone other than you for once for a stream?
Yeah, all right, let me try to get into it. So one of those older wealthy women is also in a relationship. It's a little bit of a sore subject with a ghost, and that ghost is a singing ghost, and he's really into opera, perhaps. And in typical Trey Lavallee fashion, I thought it was the stupidest thing ever until I got really, really into it, and I'm obsessed with the opera. And I would like to propose a flashback between me and the ghost when the ghost teaches me how to sing opera so that I may perhaps try to pretend to be a ghost, maybe that's being summoned.
Okay, so what you have just described is such a high-stress flashback. I can't even begin. But
I have never had someone have such a high-stress flashback in my years of running this game.
I think that you're supposed to kind of cap the amount of stress at 3, and I'm going to put it at 3 because I feel like there's a lot of if-thens in that flashback.
Sure.
So, but basically, you were trying to suddenly appear as the summoned spirit. But not only that, you were trying to kind of sing.
I was going to stay in the elevator shaft and sing to make it sound like the ghost was, the ghosts were appearing in the elevator shaft.
I understand. Okay.
What does it sound like, Matthew, do you think?
Well, that's what the flashback will explore. I want to learn from the ghost how to sing.
I can't wait to hear.
Very good. So a ghost, and he's like, of course, the harmonics, the mathematics of sound are the purest form of communication between the realm of flesh and the realm of spirit.
Go on.
And so, when you unleash the cry of the banshee, you must unleash all of your passion, all of your soul, and it should sound something like this. And as you're watching, like in this like little garret apartment you're in, like king, like little Hummel figurines are shattering, and like little like ceramic doggies are like breaking. And then finally, a mirror behind this ghost, he casts no reflection in it, cracks, and you see your own face cracked in two, and you realize that one day you will be called upon to deliver this note that proves that you are one of the restless dead. And so, can you deliver this note? Can you hit a high G note? And if you can, you will prove to these Severosi that you are one of the restless dead of the Deathlands. And here we go.
All right.
What action are you using?
I would like to use consort because, as you know, this was part of his love ritual with my consort, Mrs. Wobegon.
As long as you took that 3 stress, I will allow it. And so, what is your consort rating?
I have 2 pips in consort.
Okay, great. That is your. Is there a devil's bargain here? I don't think. Oh, okay. I can give you a devil's bargain. You can take an extra die, but you will come to the attention of not just the Severosi if you do this.
Oh, well, I'm definitely taking that devil's bargain.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Sinister forces will pay attention to you. Go ahead.
So, Trey, still gripping the chain of the pulley system, clears his throat. Okay. And then he goes, "Oh!"
The Severosi all turn to you, and
I roll a 4.
A 4 success with a complication, and the complication is you've taken my devil's bargain. That you are not the only thing that they've summoned, but you are the only thing that they're paying attention to. So all of them like suddenly turn into you, and they're starting to talk to you, and they do speak Akarosi. So they're like, "Spirit, why are you here? Why are you trying to prevent the building of the Needle Imperial?" And they're beseeching you. "Tell us, Spirit, speak to us. Why do you want us to stop this work? We will listen with open heart." And as they are saying all this, you see a strange sort of blue silhouette rise behind all of them and start to stalk toward them. And you can tell, Haberdasher, that it is not human. It is something other. Meanwhile, down in the stairwell, you fried your opposition. And where to next?
You gonna head up the stairs?
Well, I also think like you killed that guy. That means we're like on a ticking clock for the spirit wardens to come for the body of that big dude.
Yeah.
So it's
Thank you.
Like, oh,
yes,
fuck. We're on a clock now.
Well, he's not dead yet. He's gut shot and down. So
okay.
if he dies, maybe I said he was dead before. Forgive me.
No, you didn't. You just said he was shot
and
he spewed blood. I assumed.
Yeah.
So no, you didn't say that.
Maybe.
But if he dies, the spirit wardens are on their way. First a spirit crow, and then the wardens.
Well, that took care of that. You shooting him and you electrocuting like the rest of them. But it also means that like we're short on time. So I feel like we got to move.
What if we tell them like, have you had enough? Clearly, we are much stronger than you. We're here to send a message. You get the job done, or we'll come back and finish the job by killing you.
Are you saying that?
Yep.
Okay, so they're all laying on the ground like smoking, and one of them is like, "We can't finish. The spirits, they're picking us off one by one.
Where are they?
Please, mercy. We are trying to communicate with them. They're at the top. Please, mercy. Please don't shoot me. Please."
Well, let me ask you this. If we were to take care of these spirits, would you get back to work and finish the job?
Of course we would. We need the money. We want to work. Please.
But it just so happens you're in luck because we're Ghostbusters. We're gonna take care of this.
I don't believe you're Ghostbusters at all. Why are you shooting us?
You want some more electric paint?
I'm sorry. Very good. So they remain neutralized right now. And,
yeah, best stay out of our way. Now, where are these ghosts you're trying to communicate with?
The 13th floor, level 13.
I thought there was no 13th floor. Let me check my blueprints.
Akarosi bullshit. The floor after 12 is 13. Ow, my face burns. I can't talk anymore.
All right, let's walk upstairs.
I will go talk to this ghost.
So suddenly, Stormcrow, Wraith, and Blueprint, you open the stairwell door into the 13th. Let's face it, it's really the 13th floor. And what you see is the Haberdasher singing to a crowd of Severosi who seem to have different kind of like regalia on, like they're involved in some sort of occult ritual, and you perhaps see strange shadows moving into the crowd.
Can any of you attune with this?
Yeah, I certainly can.
Yes, so can I. Don't worry, gentlemen. I'll handle these ghosts.
Wraith, maybe you should chat with him.
So what you're seeing is these weird shadows kind of they're moving into the crowd, but they're I mean literally into the crowd. Like they're like moving bodily or disembodiedly into the bodies of the people standing and watching the Haberdasher. And so that is the threat I'm placing before I ask you, what is your action? It sounds like Wraith and or possibly Stormcrow are going to act within a tune. What are you trying to do?
He'll attune. He's going to try to get the attention of the ghosts and just like ask them their business. You know, what are you doing? Who are you? Why are you here? Okay, so I'll just roll a tune.
Can I?
Great, go for it.
You want to do a group action? Let's do a group action.
Yeah.
Well, I get some free assists that I haven't used yet. So why don't I assist you for free without taking any stress?
Well, just maybe hold on 1 second. Because this is a very... I don't think there's much effect to this. We're just asking who they are and what's going on. We might have to go to another layer, and I maybe save it for that.
Okay, great. Yeah, that you're right. That's probably low stakes. So you're attuning to actually communicate with the ghosts, because the people that were doing that earlier apparently have started to communicate with the Haberdasher.
Right.
And so
what do you have? Do you have 1 pip or 2 in attune? 2. Okay, yeah. So let's just we get 4 die out of this. And I'll lead it. So Skid, if you don't get a success, I'll take stress. But otherwise, right? Isn't that how it works?
Yeah, that is how it works. So it sounds like Cannabis Wraith Barnes is leading a group action. Cannabis, we will first have the person helping you, the Stormcrow, roll his 2 dice. Unless he gets a 1 to 3, you'll just get plus die. You'll just get +1 die, right? But if he gets a 1 to 3, you take stress.
If either of the die, you mean if his highest die is 1 to 3?
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
So Stormcrow, you roll first.
All right, so Stormcrow is like, listen up, ghosts. This is a very special ghost gun. You better listen to my friend, or I'll shoot you in your ghost hearts. 1 and a 2.
Oh no!
They didn't buy the ghost gun thing.
I'm shocked they didn't buy the ghost gun thing.
Usually works.
So,
oh god, that's so bad.
To our friend Stormcrow, they still look like fuzzy silhouettes. They don't look like people yet. Let's see here. You're gonna take 1 stress for the guy that helped you and like actually failed, and now you're gonna roll.
Oh boy. Racking it up. Okay, here we go.
Two ones.
2 1s. I mean, I should have said whether that. I mean, it was just trying to communicate. It was just trying to communicate. So I forgot to set whether it was like risky, desperate, or controlled. I was gonna go controlled because it like you said, it's just trying to communicate, and you guys are experts with ghosts. You're supposed to be, and then
it's literally
it would have,
the only thing that I'm good at.
It would have a standard effect. The standard effect would be you would open a line of communication, but now you have both completely failed and gained stress. So now I must come up with a consequence. The consequence I'm going to come up with is you're going to lose some position, and you need to try again if you want to. And losing position in this case means you see that these weird silhouettes are ignoring you. There are 5 of them. And they have bodily entered some of the Severosi workers. Like, they didn't stop to listen to you. They just went ahead with what they were doing. And you see some of the Severosi workers from behind. And I don't know if Haberdasher is noticing this as he delivers his singing. But, like, they're going like, and their eyes are, like, rolling back in their head as they are entered. Entered, that's the word I'm using, by these spirits. So you can try again, but you'll be trying at, like, a more difficult position. Or you can do something else.
I mean, Jared, not to knock it at all. I know it's so dumb to fail on all 4 die, but you're really not supposed to try the same thing again. And I know that we've changed the position. I'm just wondering if there's anything we can come up with that's different.
Well, I have an idea that might add a wrinkle because I might be able to gain new information. Then we can approach it differently. Because I wanted to use my idea, because I think of him as like a beautiful mind, the way things work. It's not only just architecture of buildings, but architecture of everything. To just study this scene, I want to use the study action and figure out why these ghosts are here. Because I think if I can figure out why they're here, because we made a joke earlier. Matthew made the joke, like, or somebody made it. It's like, it's a new building. Why are there ghosts in a new building? So if we could figure that out, it might help us communicate with them and give them what they need or eliminate them if need be.
Yeah. So I'll allow it. Yes, you've seen them in action now, so you've studied them. So go ahead and see what you glean from that study.
All right. And at the risk of, I'm gonna take. Is it 2 stress to add a die?
It's 2 stress to add a die. I'll give you a devil's bargain. You can get an extra die if you let one of these ghosts enter your body.
Well, I can't say no to that. I'll take it. I mean, it's only 1 stress. So, yeah, you know what? That's the best way to learn, really. So one of them's approaching me, and I'm just like...
Great. With my devil's bargain, I am ticking a clock called You Are Possessed. And I'm going to tick it twice.
As they say, possession is the best way to learn.
It is 4. It is only a 4-tick clock, and I've ticked it twice. Okay. So if something else goes wrong with this whole situation,
I'm feeling good. Okay. I mean, I might have run out of 6s. Let's see. I have. That is a 2 and a 3.
Oh no! I'm taking the rest of. I'm taking the rest of the clock called You Are Possessed. And you all see Genius Loci just sort of moves into the crowd to kind of like become one of the available vessels. And one of the 5 silhouettes like just takes him over bodily. And now I have to set what is about to happen. Suddenly, these 5 bodies that have been taken over, including Genius Loci, their eyes roll all the way back in their head. So they just have whites of their eyes showing. Suddenly push through the crowd, bodily grab onto Haberdasher, and are just continuing to charge toward the edge of the floor, which then opens out into complete rainy air.
Oh, so that's what's happening. They're not like pushing bodies out, they're possessing bodies and then committing suicide, throwing themselves off the building.
100 feet above 100 feet above 6 towers. This
Wait, they do that to me or to Troy?
They are, well, not Troy is one of the basically Genius Loci is one of the people pushing you, but they are pushing Haberdasher first. He's the one at the point of the of the football play, basically.
So I'm pushing him.
Yes.
Oh wow.
And so as you all see this happening, what would you like to do?
Okay, I got an idea. Can I he'll again reach into his heavy load, and he's like, "Seen this before," and he's going to pull out a fine powder, and it is a dust of dispossession. And it is, I'm just on my sheet here. It's an arcane implement. I'm going to call it an arcane implement, but it's a thing that buffs an attune check to briefly burst a ghost out of a body that is possessing a body, is the idea that I have. Yeah. So it isn't necessarily, it doesn't banish them and solve everything, but like it just knocks them temporarily out of a body, you know, sort of like knocking Sauron out of Theoden, you know, like that kind of thing.
Yeah,
like, like briefly.
I love it.
Can I do it?
I'll allow it, but I want that attune check.
Okay, so I check the arcane implement, and I'll do an attune check.
Yeah, and the attune check is going to be risky for standard effect. It will do what you think it will do. It'll knock him out of the body briefly, and it'll be risky because if it fails, there will be a consequence, which will be you can't use your very useful item anymore. Like it's just these ghosts are ready for it. So here we go.
Okay, can I take a devil's bargain?
The devil's bargain is the ghost that leaves whoever your well, I assume it's Genius LOCI will enter your body.
Okay, I'll take it, but here's what I would like. I don't want another die. I want great effect. So what I'd rather do is not have another die,
permanent,
but instead keep them out of bodies for the time being. They're not allowed to possess for hours or whatever. You know what I mean? Like enough.
You want to do it to all of them. You want to do it to all of them, is what you're saying.
Yes,
that's quite a high magnitude.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought I was doing it to all of them briefly, but now I get where you're at. So yeah, I'll do great effect to do it to all of them briefly. That's fine.
I'll allow that. I'll allow that. Okay, great. Yeah.
So only 2 die, but all of the bodies are freed briefly.
But if you fail, you're just fully possessed. You get it out of 1 and it goes into you.
I got this. I got this. Come on.
Come on.
5 and a 6.
Oh, there it is. Nice. So our friend Cannabis, who he's used to fighting ghosts, tosses this bag of powder. A cloud of it goes up in the air, and suddenly all of these people that are moving directly toward the haberdasher to pull him off the side of the building, they suddenly go, and like ectoplasm pours out of their mouths and their ears and their noses and out of their, I mean, frankly, assholes. And ectoplasm they just all sort of at once give birth to ghosts who are like flopping out onto the ground in front of everybody. These silhouettes are flying out and they're like landing on the ground like hard, like they weren't expecting this. And right now they are all vulnerable and not protected by a human shell. Haberdasher, you were not pushed off the side of the building. The Severosi that are around are kind of like, what the hell's going on? They have they didn't expect you guys. They didn't expect the ghosts. They thought that they were talking to the ghost and a haberdasher. So they're not super useful right now. They're mostly just panicked and like, what's happening? So I ask the party, what do you do? Well, actually, I should tell you what. So the thing that they're going to do is they're going to try to, these ghosts are going to try to get back up and attack again. But you have them on the ropes. So what do you do while they're on the ropes?
Can I have Spirit Bane Charm as one of my items, and that will kind of ward off a ghost, right? If I kind of hold that up.
You make up what it does.
Yeah, you do, but I think it's mainly to ward off ghosts. Yeah.
It wards them off.
Do you think they would
wards them off?
The ghost would be less inclined to stay if I started waving my Spirit Bane Charm around?
So I think what you're asking is, can I wave a Spirit Bane Charm and get ghosts to leave a location indefinitely? And that is a no. But a Spirit Bane Charm would. You could swing it around and a spirit wouldn't attack you. A spirit might not stay in the room, but a spirit would not leave the place it's like kind of currently inhabiting permanently because you wave a Spirit Bane Charm at it. Would you like to wave your Spirit Bane Charm right now and try to corner the spirits or corral them together or something of that nature?
That sounds good. Like maybe we can all kind of corral them away from the people, and send the people down the stairs.
Oh, this is great. This is great. I've got something to add to this that might really
be
interesting. if you don't mind, another flashback.
Oh,
that just is right at the end of that conversation with Goose. Like if things go wrong and maybe we start having another drink and I say, these ghosts, are they real?
I mean, of course ghosts are real. I mean, we have entire city ordinances about ghosts. I mean, it's entirely possible. I mean, I don't understand why they would be infesting my building. There's absolutely no... Are you asking me why they're there? If they are, in fact, there?
I just want to know if they're there. Here's what I'm thinking, and I'm just an architect's assistant, mind you. But
and I am the architect. Keep that in mind.
If this building is supposed to be so special and so important to you, and if these ghosts are real, maybe there's a way we can harness them into the building, into the very foundation of the building. If we gather them and somehow trap their spirits within, we could make something truly unique.
You're saying use the building as a kind of hull, a kind of
exactly
a golem construction.
Yes, yes. I'm sure a lot of people would pay a lot of money for something like that.
Of course, the sacred geometry is implicit in my design, but I mean, what you're talking about is extremely, extremely risky. I mean, if you did this, well, it could tick up to 5 different ticks of the Needle Falls clock.
But if I succeed, maybe I'll no longer be an assistant.
Maybe you'll be a journeyman architect.
We all have goals.
There is a core of obsidian in the structure. It is engraved with the sigils that would allow electroplasm to flow through the structure. But it could also be used to hold spirits, which are, as you well know, and as your colleague well know, composed of electroplasm.
Be a last-ditch resort, but it might just work.
Yes, but the skill needed to attune and force a spirit to do such a thing, I don't think a group of Bravo gutter snipes has it.
He looks over at his shoulder at Wraith and Johannes just laughing and kissing. And he's like, I think I've got the guys. And then we come back and we're all there. And
that was a crazy flashback. Take 3 stress for it.
Oh, whoa.
No. I'm pretty stressed. All right. So, yeah, I'm really stressed, and I'm looking at this and thinking like this. If we could pull this off, this would be the ultimate, because we would kill 2 birds with one stone. We'd solve the ghost problem. We would be heroes to the Severosi's workers, and we would create a structure that would make a goose very happy and very popular. So he's watching Trey ward them all in a group with the Spirit Blade charm, and he looks to Johannes and Cannabis, and yeah, we'll say he already explained this to them. Like, this could happen. Like, do it now. Open the trap.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay.
And I'll assist because I can do that for free.
I've come up with this genius plan. I'll help you, but you have to do it.
He is the spider that is sort of their whole MO. Johannes and Cannabis, what'll it be, boys?
This could be amazing.
Can I add to the effectiveness of this? I have a ghost key on my sheet. So what I want to do is at the 8 moments of apex, I want to throw the ghost key up in the air, summon a tempest, which I can do, strike the key with lightning, and have all the ghosts sucked into the structure as a result of the magic that comes out.
Yeah, of course you could do that. That sounds awesome. But I need to know what action you're rolling.
That will be a tune.
A tune. And how is anybody else going to help with this? I know that you're taking some stress to assist Genius. So
yeah,
that's
I
plus
don't
one.
take.
That's
my foresight ability allows me 2 times per score to assist without taking stress. So
nice.
I can actually assist Johannes and Cannabis, and then burn both of those.
Great.
Give them an extra die.
Sweet.
Plus 1 die, Johannes.
And then I will also roll a tune, and I'll just and my hands start glowing blue, and any ghosts that are like trying to like fight their way past the spirit charm or work their way around, he's just sort of being like a bouncer, like he's corralling them in, and it's just like pushing them, and he literally can touch their ghostly bodies and push them back if they try to start, walking away out of the way. So I'll roll a 2 trying to keep them all in one place. So I'll aid basically like a group action, but this time Johannes is leading it and I'm assisting.
Very
and
good.
I will continue to sing while I'm warding.
Oh, what a scene!
Yeah.
Crescendo.
Oh, fuck back.
I'm gonna call this. I think that Genius set you up so well that I'm gonna call this. No, you know what? I can't make it. It's desperate because we're summoning lightning, so that's desperate. Because I think that there's a chance it'll work, but even if it works, if something goes wrong or there's a complication, everyone's going to get electrocuted by the lightning that is being called down to do it. And also ghosts, fighting them hand to hand. That comes with consequences as well if you fail. So I'm going to say it's desperate, and I'm going to say that it will have the greatest of effects, though. It will, in fact, you will shove. You will actually harness these ghosts to the building itself, to the obsidian core in the center of the building. And so with your assistance from Cannabis and your free assistance from Genius LOCI, and what the hell? I mean, do you want to take stress and assist him as well, Haberdasher? You're certainly helping with the spirit charm.
Do I?
Great. That's 3 dice right there, and then whatever you have to attune, my friend Johannes.
Oh man.
So 3 dice in addition to my attune?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, but I'm rolling 2, right?
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought you said you were assisting earlier. Would you like to
it's
do
like
a
the group action thing where I roll, and as long as I
great. Okay.
roll 1 or 2, he doesn't take stress.
So we'll say that's no problem. So we'll say that Genius and the Haberdasher are just assisting. They're taking stress or getting a free one to give you dice. So that's plus 2 dice, plus 3 dice altogether. But let's see how Cannabis's roll goes. Go ahead, Cannabis.
Oh, sorry, this is getting to the end, so I just want to update mine slightly because this is fucking amazing. I'm reading my ability, and it says you may imbue your hands, melee weapons, or tools with spirit energy. So what he's going to pull out is, and I'm going to check it off on my equipment list, a scary weapon or tool. He's going to pull out a spirit whip. And he's just cracking the whip, like this blue whip at their feet, like working them back into the room. This game is amazing. And then I'm going to spend 2 stress to push my own roll, just because I really want to lock this in. So 3 die for you, Skid. Here we go. Okay. I was glad I did. A 1, a 2, and a 4. Okay. So it's a success with a complication, but so you have a 4 now. We'll see what you get. As long as you get a 6, we're fine. But
so a complication that occurs for you though, because you have to take a complication, my friend. Or no, he's leading a group action.
It's a group action. Yeah, I don't think so.
It's go ahead.
At worst, he'll get a 4. At worst, that's basically where we're at.
I can picture this scene so perfectly right now.
It's pretty cool. This does sound like something out of the real Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it really does.
The spirit key floats into the air. The storm is brewing. The water is coming down on your faces. All of your hair is kind of lanky and wet in front of your eyes as our friend Johannes, the Storm Crow, aka Rain Delay, he reaches up to the sky with his spirit key, and what happens?
Get ready to be permanent residents, you stupid ghosts! 2 6s.
Oh, the crit!
A 2 6s is a crit.
A critical success. Amazing.
Suddenly, the 5 spirits that you were kind of like cracking with your whip, they kind of like go and spin around the spirit key, and then the spirit key kind of enters the core of the building where those sigils are, and it kind of like becomes immaterial and kind of like turns like in a lock, and you see like these howling faces just for a second on the side, like and then all of a sudden like it glows with electroplasm, and then you watch as building materials start to go floating telekinetically around you, swirling around you. Bricks are going past your head, but they are not trying to hit you. They are not knocking people off the building. They are in fact finishing the building. Girders are like moving into place. Like,
oh my god!
And then finally, the rain stops because the last tile has gone into place, and you now have a roof over your heads here on the 14th floor of the Needle Imperial. The Severosi are like, holy shit, man, that was fucking incredible!
On time and under budget.
You know, it's so funny because I was literally like, at a certain point, Wraith has to be a little like, what the fuck is with this Stormcrow guy? Like, he is such a weirdo, and he's only getting us into trouble. And then he does this legendary sorcerer move and fixes the building and traps the ghost, and he's just like, well, all right then. This guy's got it.
Stormcrow looks around at all the gathered workers. It says like, gentlemen, let's party Severosi style, and he starts firing with his gun up into the ceiling and
putting holes in the ceiling that has just been fixed.
Just finished ruining it, and then the song "Party Rock" by LMFAO starts blaring over unseen speakers,
and we all dance.
Everyone starts dancing.
You guys know that Severosi party than any other ethnic background in the Duskfall universe. Is that okay to say? And so it is an enormous throwdown, rager, and the next morning.
Tonight's gonna be a good night.
Genius LOCI, you're awakened from your passed out stupor, lying in a corner of the 14th floor of the Needle Imperial. You're shaken awake. The face in front of you is August. And he goes, are you drunk?
Yeah. I had 19 vodka Red Bulls.
I've been up for 3 days.
Exhausted.
By God, genius, you've done it. You're now a journeyman architect.
Yeah.
Got anything to drink around this place?
Yeah.
The party starts again.
I got a feeling
like Berlin.
And this guy knows people who are fun, and they show up. And the lights flashing from the top Imperial are not eerie will-o-wisps of the unrestless dead. They are, in fact, on-purpose lights of people partying down. And that is the second adventure of the Busted Mufflers.
Yeah!
Dude, we so bad there for a second. We pulled off the most amazing victory.
That's one of my favorite scores we've ever done.
Oh, my God.
We also got to 26K.
We also just hit 26K.
Nice. Yeah,
26K. Where did the ghosts come from? Who sent them? Find out it next year on the next Extra Life Marathon.
The annual stream.
Where we just do a 2-hour downtime and tie up some of the loose ends from the year
in
before.
2023, another score.
Guys, it's always a goddamn, and I say goddamn pleasure to play with y'all. I hope you had fun. This game's
Thank you,
great.
Jared. This was
Jared.
amazing.
Yeah,
your
fantastic.
imagery, the setup was incredible right from the beginning. I could see the tower. I could picture the mission. It was great. Great work.
Awesome.
Oh, shucks. Love you guys. Look, they can donate for a while longer. What else do they need to know, right?
Yeah, it doesn't end today.
No.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
We're just getting started. Skid's about to hop on, play a little Wrath of the Righteous.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I'll be back in about 10 minutes. I got to change. And I'll be back in 10 minutes with some Wrath of the Righteous. We'll go as long as I can stay conscious.
You can't sign off until you raise another 9K, Skid.
That's my goal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just keep it going.
Yeah.
Just keep it going.
Only $9,000. We can do it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jared.
I will walk off into the sunset. Matthew Capodicasa, Skid Maher, Joe O'Brien, and Troy Lavallee. Thank you. And
good night, Naish.
Good night, Naish. Thanks for having us.
Love you guys. You made it a special day.
Bye-bye.
Day ever.
Yeah, Extra Life. Be sure to donate, and we'll see you next time we do one of these fun things, which is probably going to be super soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, Stream of Blood, if you're interested, is run by Jared, Logan, Clinton Trucks, and Brian Bollinger. I want to thank them. Megan Arch, my social media manager, and Jill Petracek, our art director. And we'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And by the way, your clocks go back an hour. So, well, it's all done digitally now. Who cares? 9 a.m. for some Frankensteins of Pennsylvania. Come and check that out if you enjoyed this. All right. Goodbye.